Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. At this time, good evening. At this time, I'll call to order the regularly scheduled board meeting for the Village of Midlothian, Wednesday, July 10th, 2019, at 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Trustee Caveney?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Gillis? Here. Trustee Ivan? Trustee Killelea? Trustee Kreis?
Here.
Mayor LaRue?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for our fallen veterans. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Is there any members of any village commissions or committees here tonight?
It says the 10th,
Of
right?
course there is.
Did we do a joint meeting for that? Yeah, it should be. Mine just says view agenda. Refresh it with the little circle again. I'm sorry. Do I have to log in again?
Done.
Yeah.
Jean Bartucki, Safety Committee, Beautification Committee, Beautiful, and Friends of the Library.
Water Commission, Zoning Board, and Keep It Looking Good. Outlet Technology Committee.
Okay. Any members of any local organizations here tonight? Sorry. All right, thank you all for coming out. At this time, we have the pleasure of having Evelyn Gleason here to give us a update on what's been going on with District 228. So, Evelyn?
Thank you. Good evening. My name, as most of you know, is Evelyn Gleason. I've been on the school board at District 228 for 27 years. I started right out of high school. Thank you for a long time. Thank you for giving us time to speak to you tonight and discuss some of the accomplishments of the 2018-2019 school year. I'd like to start out with our new alternative education program. We opened this program in August of 2018. It's housed in 6 classrooms at South Suburban's Old Forest campus, and it aims to help our at-risk students complete their high school education. Last year we serviced 161 at-risk students and have graduated 65 of those to date. I'd like to also address the opening of our new facilities, which is coming up next month. This includes our field house, our workout rooms, physical education classrooms, and driver's ed classrooms. Field house will be equipped with an indoor running track and will provide additional space for our extracurricular and sports teams to practice. We'd like to welcome each of you and the entire community to our open house and ribbon cutting, which will take place in each of the 4 schools, starting August 12th from 4 to 6 at Old Forest High School. The ribbon cutting will be between 4 and 4:30 in the evening. On Tuesday, August 13th, the ribbon cutting and open house will be at Hillcrest High School from 4 to 6. On Wednesday, August 14th at Tinley Park High School. And finally, on Thursday, August 15th from 4 to 6 at Brentwood High School. We'd like to also express our gratitude and collaboration for the support of many community organizations who have helped us to create space for our student artwork. This opportunity allows our students to showcase their hard work and passion for art in a public setting. You can view District 228 art students' work at the Tinley Park Starbucks on Harlem, the Oak Forest Starbucks on Cicero, on benches in downtown Tinley, at the Grand Prairie Public Library in Hazel Crest, and the Acorn Library in Oak Forest. The other thing we're hearing a lot about from people is that college isn't for everyone. We hear this from parents and students alike. So in our effort to help students learn more about various post-school routes that are not college, our district has arranged multiple events and fairs. We've had several career days featuring professionals from career paths, including beauticians and trade workers. We've hosted a manufacturing day and a skills trade expo for students. These opportunities have allowed students to network with various unions and companies while also participating in sessions regarding welding, manufacturing, and apprentice test prep. And I can tell you, I was at the Hillcrest Honors Night, and several of the graduating seniors had been hired by some of the local contractors in electrical or construction or carpentry, so the program is working. Another concern we hear frequently is about student safety. We've learned from Sandy Hook and the Sandy Hook Promise that the best way to combat disaster at school is by starting by limiting and identifying student social isolation. This year, students and staff across our district participated in several initiatives to spread awareness and prevent isolation in their schools. Some of the initiatives include See Something, Say Something. This is a program in which we spent a week encouraging students and educating students and staff to say something if they see an individual who is suffering from social isolation. Finally, I'd like to mention two new curriculum changes in this past year. The first one in implementation was integrated math. Instead of the traditional algebra, then geometry, then algebra 2, then we have combined all of these into a combined student class. This type of math is becoming more popular across the nation. It prepares students for real-life scenarios in today's modern world. Last year we had integrated math in the freshman class. Next year it will be freshmen and sophomores, and then the following year it will be freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. So we're interested to see what kind of impact this will have on our standardized testing. Additionally, we've had a change in our physical education curriculum. In many school settings, it has stayed the same for many years. This year, we introduced our physical education classes to a mobile application called Athletic U. This allows teachers to customize workouts for their students' needs rather than assigning every student the same workout. For example, a football player needs a different kind of workout than a cross-country runner or a student who's just trying to stay fit. Teachers can monitor students' progress through this application. They can assign rehabilitation exercises for injured students and even assign makeup work for students to complete at home. That completes my spiel for tonight. Thank you for allowing me this time. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them, and I hope to see you at the grand opening on August 14th at Bremen.
I do have a question. Can we get some of the Bremen students' artwork here in Midlothian, like at our library or around any of our businesses in
I know
town?
they sent out and asked. I can, if people are interested, you can contact Jamie at the Ad Center, the PR girl, and I'm sure she can arrange it.
Okay, what is your name?
Jamie, Maria's got her contact
Oh,
information.
okay. Okay, that'd be
Let me,
great.
Yeah, it would be great.
For the record, trustee Carl Ivan and trustee Don Kinley are in attendance. Evelyn, I've had a chance to meet a couple of your board meetings, the one with the criminal justice program and robotics. It's just fantastic what you guys are doing over there. The new additions are just wonderful, and I can't
You'll believe
thank,
what they look like from the inside.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
can't thank you and the rest of your board, everything you're doing for Bremen High School and Midlothian students, so.
The best news with that is our tax rate went down, even though we built all that, so that's good news for the entire
That
community.
is good. Thank you, Evelyn.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'll open the floor to public comment. If you would like to be made a member of public record, please stand, state your name and address, and please use your microphone so Helmut up there can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, anyone? Jean?
Hi.
Hi.
It's not really that long.
Okay.
I wrote it down, so I wouldn't forget. Shout out to Public Works on the work at Hanson's Park. The beautification committee is in the process of transforming that park, which we're estimating it will be a 2-year project by the time we get done with it. The flower boxes are shaping up and nicely, as you can tell when you drive through town. Bob and I are very, very happy with the uniformity we wanted and the impact that they're having in the village. Plaques are on their way. Garden Walk is this Sunday. You can purchase tickets at the Village Green from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tickets are $8, And don't forget to purchase the raffle ticket for the super cool Star Wars planter, which was made and donated by Scott and Pat Schultz. The cost is $5 a ticket, and we're going to have some craft vendors on the green that day also. The Welcome to Midlothian signs look wonderful, and those signs have been adopted by village residents. Next project, trying to figure out how to light them up. That is all.
The garden walk was what time? Starts at what time?
Tickets go on sale at 11, 10
10 o'clock.
a.m. 10 a.m.
And 11 starts the walk.
And the walk
Goes to
starts
4
at-
o'clock.
Nice. Can't wait.
You end up at the Historical Society where the drawing will take place, and we'll have some lemonade and water over there for you, so you can have a tour of the Historical Society by Terry Stevens, hopefully.
Nice.
I have a question. I won't be able to attend the garden walk, but can I still buy some raffle tickets?
You can purchase them over at Killily Jewelers, and they're $5.
Okay.
And it is really super cute.
I
It
saw a
is
picture
so
of it. It's
cool.
very cute.
But
Okay.
thanks, Joe, that we were so happy to see that work done over at Hanson's.
And not to change the subject, you talk about Killey Jewelers. What a great picture of you with the little spyglass there.
And that's pretty hard.
Great picture.
Thank you, Mayor.
Anyone else?
That is a good picture. That's cool.
Jack? No. All right. Which, we'll talk after meeting. I got your email. Okay, I'll close the floor to public comment, and we'll move on to tonight's consent agenda. Number 1, approval of ordinance number 2031, amending the Village of Midlothian's municipal gas use tax, Title 5, Chapter 9, Section 5910. Number 2, approval of ordinance 2032, adopting the 2018 Energy Conservation Code. Number 3, approval of the committee meeting minutes for June 19th, 2019. Number 4, approval of board meeting minutes for June 26th, 2019. Approval of the May 2019 Fire Department report, and approval of the list of bills. Is there any item any trustee would like off of tonight's consent agenda?
Mayor, I'd like to just make if we can do a change on the face of the minutes. On 3, the June 19th meeting, under my business, I do not believe that was correct by saying that the firefighter or paramedic hired had previously worked for the village. Is that correct?
Yes, only the other part-time guy was a previous part-time came back.
He did, okay, then my mistake on that one. But on number 4, the June 26 minutes, under my business, the 2 injured firefighters, the second injured firefighter is only out 6 to 8 weeks, not 6 to 9 months.
You said 6 to 8 weeks?
Yes.
Duly noted. We can still move forward.
Yes, is he giving consent now with those changes?
You give the consent? Okay. All right, so then I'm looking for...
Well, I have a question
sorry.
on the, if I may, on the list of bills for the treasurer. I'd sent you, as I was reviewing things this afternoon, about the invoice for Lauderback, and there was...
I did get it, I got it about 10 after 5. I mean, it came through my email about 10 after 5, and I'm...
Right, but my question is, it was not, it was work outside the scope of the audit, is that correct?
Yes, it's in conjunction with the audit, but it wasn't on the audit itself.
Okay, and that was work that could not be done in-house by anybody? Because I think we had a bill a couple months back, and I didn't have time to look through the minutes, and I had questioned it at that time, and my recall was that that was a one-time issue, and that all other future work was going to be able to be handled in-house. So I'm just...
That was part of that was a February bill, and that was still part of that work. Going forward, that's not, we are now caught up, and we will not have to have that done.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I'm looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Cagney?
Aye.
Trustee Ivan?
Aye.
Trustee Crowley?
Aye.
Trustee Gillis?
Aye.
Trustee Killily?
Aye.
Trustee Kreis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, let's move on to trustee business. Trustee Kreis.
A couple reminders that I have put on the agenda. The next Keep Midlothian Board Steering Committee meeting will be next Thursday, July 18th at 2:30 p.m. And I also want everybody to know that as part of the cigarette litter prevention program grant, we received 600 of these pocket ashtrays. So if anybody would like them, we have 600 of them, and we would like people to use them, because when we did our cigarette audit, one weekend, we picked up over 3,000 cigarette butts in a small area. So I'm going to ask the village staff again, just to be very cognizant about cigarette butt disposal. The ones we picked up will be recycled, but we have 600 of these. And so every time Keep Midlothian and Beautiful is at a function, you are going to see these. So if you want them, let me know, because we want people to use them. And they, on back order, are 200 of the car ashtrays, because cars don't have ashtrays in them anymore. And so we're going to get 200 of those as well. So I've got a lot of these, and we want to get them out, and we want, Maggie, you're smiling. You don't smoke. And nor do I. And so we want to get these out, okay? And then following the Keep Midlothian Beautiful meeting next Thursday will be the Natalie Creek Trail Steering Committee meeting at 4 p.m. And then finally, I will be at the Calumet Stormwater Collaborative this Friday. I was asked to do a presentation in conjunction with Kate Avasic from the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, and Kelsey Anderson from Strand and Associates, who was one of the engineers on our Stormwater Management Capital Plan. And we will be presenting the story of Midlothian Stormwater Management Capital Plan. So I think it's exciting, because this is really an astute group. It's educators, professors, engineers, and for Midlothian to be asked to present, I think is just, it's really an honor. So I wanted to share that with the board. And that's all I have this evening, unless anybody has questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Ivan.
Well, I want to just say one thing, and one very important thing. Sunday is the garden walk from 11 to 4. Come on down. And that's it.
So you're not going to be sitting out at the Village Green selling raffle tickets for the Star Wars thing? You'll be doing that, historical system?
We're going to be taking a raffle at the Village Green.
Okay.
But up until then I'll be selling raffle tickets, say up to Saturday at midnight,
Okay. Thank you, sir. Trustee Gillis?
I just wanted to give a review of May's monthly meeting for the fire departments. We did miss it last month. During the month, there was 142 emergency medical calls. 71 were residents, 71 were not residents. 43 of them were ALS and 55 were BLS. The rest were refusals. During the month of May, the billing for the month was just over 97,000, and they collected 37,300. For the total month, there was 231 calls, and there were 41 inspections. And that is all I have.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Cavney?
I don't have anything this evening. What? I may reserve the right to ask a question later on, but I don't have anything in particular to report.
Did you have a nice weekend?
Yeah, I had a lovely weekend.
Good. Would you like to share?
Sure, I was in
No.
Wisconsin.
Sorry. Trustee Killen?
Nothing, man.
Trustee Crowley?
I feel like we're in a work somewhere.
No
Okay.
pressure.
Just a couple things tonight. I mentioned a few weeks ago that we were finishing up the background on an officer to be hired from our list. That background is complete, and we will be putting on the agenda for July 24th to hire the new officer based on the Police and Fire Commission. Update on our part-time clerk, Chief Delaney has done first-round interviews and has started, or have you completed? He has one more to do on the second round, and we'll be discussing that, and I'll be bringing that to the board probably next week. National Night Out, August 6th, please mark your calendars. I'll be sending out an email to all the department heads this week regarding all the stuff, bringing everything out and getting everything ready, so thank you guys in advance. And the two last things, there's still time. The Dirty O Race is July 20th. There's, Sergeant Tebow is still taking donations and still selling shirts, so if you haven't gotten them, it's not too late. And the last thing on my list is our IT and fiber. I added all the department heads. You guys all should have gotten an email from me with a whole string of emails for months and months about the fiber connection. They are just waiting for the two companies to be able to coordinate a date. So when you see that email, please don't just ignore it as hundreds of emails in that in that string. I wanted everyone to be on it so you guys knew when to prepare your staff to be prepared, because they're saying it'll be about a 45-minute downtime. Originally, my idea was to do it either late in the day on a Friday or a Saturday, but everybody suggested against that because then we won't know if there's problems till the following day. So as they send that information, I asked them to include all the department heads, the mayor, and the clerk on that as well. So that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief Outler?
Just a couple things there. Firefighter Badger has returned to work. He's cleared today, so he's back to work. We'll start Saturday. The fire procure event that we participate in every year was canceled this year. They, something to do with the school, they ended saying it was cost, it was too much money. And they're going to lose a lot of money, and they're canceling. So we're hoping it's going to continue next year to find a new location, but it is canceled for this year. And just pleased to announce that there's no injuries from any fireworks this year. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Trustee, Chief Delaney?
Yeah, right, sir. Trustee Crowley.
Superintendent Weiner?
A couple things here. The permit's been approved for the property on Waverly, and so now the county makes us wait 10 days. We're going to start the demolition at the call into the county environmental department and asking them to wait the 10 days so we can start as soon as possible. It's collapsed and dangerous. Hopefully they'll approve that. The Park District resubmitted its plans. The original plans were submitted, I believe, last March for plan review. I've been waiting for the resubmittal to address all the comments from the plan review. They submitted those the 4th of July week. Those have been distributed to the plan review, Robinson Engineering for civil. For those to review, I talked to Dominic today, told him everything was out, just waiting for a reply, which hopefully we should receive soon. Also today, I spent 3 hours at the Markham Courthouse regarding the Kedzie property, and the judge ordered demolition of the property. I have to go back in 45 days on August 28th for a status. The building is supposed to be significantly down or close to it, and that includes the parking lot, the foundation, and everything. Return it to grade. If not, the judge originally gave us 60 days to complete the work. So at day 61, by the judge's order, the building is now ours for demolition. Ordered by the judge at Markham today.
So it was worth your 3 hours today?
Hopefully.
Like testifying a couple times.
This has been a journey.
That's done, hopefully.
It's never done.
The Reverend said that he had demo contractors, he had bids.
Good.
I don't have to go through all this if he was already prepared to do demolition. But
Well, he'll have to come in and apply for a demo permit and apply for the county demolition permit.
right, I had to explain what was required up at the court, and he knows what he needs to do.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, sir. Superintendent Sperry?
Just a quick update on the creek project. Tomorrow, they're going to make the final connection of the water main and the new water main in Kilbourne and cap the old water main, and then they're going to be moving over to Costner Avenue Tuesday. So they'll open Kilbourne up prior to closing down Costner. Costner will be closed to through traffic from 147 to 145, approximately 2 months. We got that up on our website.
I was gonna say, isn't there links up there of what's going on, the progress with the MWD?
Yeah, Sharon just put it up there today.
Oh, just put it up, okay.
The traffic today. But there's a page that has updates on the creek project,
Yeah.
timeline and project plans.
I'll have to take a look and see what's on.
Looking good.
It's kind of been status quo. It's still working.
It's been, I don't know. But we got an email from a resident that said they didn't know what was
I
happening
think
with the
Sharon
project.
put it on the front page. I asked her to because you had to kind of dig in
It's there.
there and go
I saw it
into
today.
Public Works. I said, people aren't trying to find it.
Okay.
You know, so.
So it is,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the news feed on our webpage. Good. Which is the front page.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be a hot topic for the next 2 years.
yes.
So, yeah. And then what they're going to do is they're going to move the utilities, the water and the sewer on Costner, and then they're going to go right into putting the bridge in, the new culvert, or box culvert. Then they'll go back to Kilbourne and open up Costner, and do the culvert over there. And then they'll move to the south side of 147th, I'm thinking maybe in the fall. It'll work, it'll fun.
The good stuff.
Yeah. That's all.
Thank you. Engineer Nagel.
Mayor, got a couple items. The first item is that we're projecting on August 3rd, we're going to be doing the seal coating of the metro lots. The metro lots have to be done either on a Saturday or a Sunday, and it cannot be raining. And so that's what we're shooting for. It's going to be at least a couple weekends, so it'll be posted and people will know about it before it comes forward. The other thing is that Mr. Sperry and I have a pre-construction meeting for the 2019 roadway resurfacing job on Friday at 1 p.m. in this office here. If everybody like to attend, you're more than welcome. That's all that I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask the engineer a question?
Sure.
Do we have an update from Cook County as to when we are officially going to get the letter with regards to the Jolly Homes CDBG
Yes, ma'am.
disaster recovery grant?
There was a conference call that Mr. Sperry and I had with him, and it was on June 13th. In that meeting, they came up with some other options, and that Dominic Tosi from the county has to investigate the other options right now. And the other options were possibly expanding the scope to include another flooded area outside of the village.
Outside of the village?
Right.
So the grant money we're going to get is going to cover Midlothian and another community, so both communities have to work on it together?
The way it was expressed to Mr. Sperry and I was that HUD would rather see a bigger benefited area for the dollar amounts. And the bigger benefited area includes a section of Markham that has flooding on Park Creek.
Okay.
So, and then they said that in order to secure or in order to get the funding for phase 2, which is the design plans, there has to be some mechanism.
Because this is phase 2 we applied for, right?
Right,
Not phase
correct.
1, phase 2.
Phase 1 was done already. The city funded that
We paid for that.
100%, not including the area in Markham.
Correct.
Okay, in order to get the funding for phase 2, they want to have some kind of, I would say, an assurance that they're going to have construction dollars. And HUD's not going to fund the construction dollars. So this is where Dominic Tosi worked his magic by bringing the MWRD in, see if they could help fund it, and they would help fund it if it has a bigger, broader area.
But then that
So
means that
it's a
we have
moving
to wait,
target.
does that mean we have to wait for Markham to come to the table and agree and do a phase 1? Because they don't have a phase 1 on Park Creek, like,
That is, to add them onto it wouldn't be difficult, and that could be included into the cost of the phase 2. It's a small section of homes that run adjacent to Park Creek
Right.
that show structural flooding, and that was the big issue with the MWRD, is they want to identify structural flooding.
right. And I'm not opposed to that. I mean, that's great if we can, you know, kill two birds with one stone. Sorry for that analogy. That's wonderful. I guess I'm just concerned now about any further delay to
We
move
are
forward
also.
with it.
And we expressed that, this could be a standalone project, but Mr. Tosi and MWRD both said they want to put money into it. It's got to address structural flooding, it's got to be a bigger, broader area for the dollar amounts that are going into it. Now, that was the first time they said that to us was in that conference call.
Yeah.
Leading up to this, It's like.
I mean, because initially, we asked for X amount of dollars, and they came back and said, well, we'll give you more dollars. Were they
Yeah.
saying they were giving us more dollars because those extra dollars were supposed to cover Markham?
They never mentioned that. You know, we asked for, I think it was 250 or 300,000, they gave us 500,000.
Right.
And they said to do a little of the construction work you gotta do. I mean, they were all for it, but now, when the rubber hits the road, they gotta sign the check and the paper over, they wanna increase the area. And they're gonna get back to us, and it wasn't negative, I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, well,
Mr.
that's
Sperry,
good.
jump in on this, you were in the conversation
Yeah,
too. It was,
Okay.
let's make this work and let's get it to go.
But these are federal dollars, not county dollars, right? So who's asking for the bigger expanded area, the county or?
It's HUD dollars
HUD.
filtered through Cook County.
Right.
CDBG, DR.
Right, but who's asking to expand the project?
HUD.
HUD or Cook County?
Dominic Tosi read into this that, and it's just assuming this stuff, jump into it, Joyce, is that the village doesn't have $5 million to fix the problem.
Right.
And they're gonna need to get a funding partner on this, and the funding partner more than likely will be the MWRD, what they call their Phase 2 construction funds, not
Okay.
Phase 2 design funds. Okay, and that's how this all got intertwined on that June conference call. When we left the conference call, it was positive, it was we're gonna get back to you in a little bit, and I just can't keep on hammering the guy. I mean, he's given us a gift, and we could just do some.
But it's over here, hang on a second.
I agree with you, but.
So basically, are we waiting for them to go to the city of Markham and talk to their board to find out if they're interested in doing, what if Markham says, no, we're not interested? Then what happens?
Don't know. I don't have control of the funds, I don't know. I know what I know, and I explained everything that I know. And the mayor Joe was there, I mean, the mayor knows about this. Really, we're on a holding pattern, I would say, to hear back from Dominic Tosi. And when Mr. Tosi responds to us, we can't, and then this could be another reason to give him a phone call after the holiday, say, how's it going, that kind of conversation, you know? But I'm the #1 bug for this guy, I call him constantly, so.
Okay, thank you very much.
My bottom line is that my gut feeling is positive. Is that
You're always positive.
I believe this one, and I think Mr. Sperry could understand how that kind of conversation went. It was like team building and how to achieve a goal. And achieve a goal is, the big goal is to get to $5 million. I mean, just doing a study and taking a study and putting it up on a shelf isn't gonna help us. We can actually build something with it, so.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
That's it. Treasurer Ritz,
Nothing, Mr. Mayor?
Deputy Clerk Clackey, Attorney Valdez.
Yes, just an item that will be discussed in closed session. In addition to what is posted, we will be discussing pending litigation and an update on a couple of matters that were negotiated through the legal apparatus of the village. There was the property on the Keystone condominium properties that the village board may be aware of has been problematic for close to a year now with regard to raw sewage and non-compliance with code. To make a long story very short, housing code fines were piling up, and we were not able to get a response from them until the management company intervened for the owners with legal counsel. Pursuant to that, I settled the fines for $7,000 with regard to the property. Some of the changes were being made, some of the items that were being in violation of the code are being addressed. The village did receive a check for that settlement. I'm presuming it cleared, but there's no issues. I wanted to wait to make sure that the money was actually in the bank. So the village did get compensated for all the work that the building department did with regard to the Keystone properties, which still has a long way to go to get to complete compliance, but at least there is movement now, and the condominium owners now understand that it is better to put money into the property to get it into code than to give it in fines. In addition to that, you may recall the Razik property across the street, the Dollar Tree property, which froze and exploded the pipes, costing the sprinkler system that we litigated for close to a year to get installed, blew up in the below zero freeze in February, resulting in the basement filling up with thousands of gallons of water for which we had no meter. we were able to calculate, the building superintendent, who's much better at math than I am, was able to calculate the volume of the water by measuring the basement. Obviously, we didn't get all of it because a lot of it went into the sewer system, a lot of it went into the Dollar Tree, but we were able to establish that there was several $1,000s in lost water, for which I negotiated a settlement with Razik's attorney for the payment of that water in a payment plan of $1,000 over 4 months. Happy to report that last month they made their final payment and paid up for all that water that was lost. So we had some good news in terms of collecting on some of the fines and debt that was owed the village. That's it.
Do you have a status on the final comments for the pro-champs ordinance?
Yes, we will have something for you probably end of the day tomorrow, all ready to go for discussion at the next committee meeting, and it should be ready to pass last meeting in July.
Very good.
Under my business, I'm appointing Jay Johnson and Kathy Johnson to the Plan Commission. Does anyone have any problems with that? I know they're short. Louis CJ would like to have 2 more, so if anyone out there would be interested in the Plan Commission. So no one has a problem with that. Jay Johnson and Kathy Johnson will be on the Plan Commission.
And Mayor, I did send you an email late this evening with regards to another recommended person that Chris Strolko recommended, Marion Hanley. I just sent you that email.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Nice. And I've been looking for members for the Veterans Committee as well. I might have one person as of yet, but we'll see. Joyce isn't here. Anyone care about Comcast? No? I have information if you're interested. And I'd like to bring this up real quickly, and we'll talk about it more in depth next week. Received a letter from Republic Services, and due to the state tax increase on the motor fuel, they would like to know if the Village of Midlothian would be willing to add a small increase to our garbage contract. So just wanted to throw it out there, give it a week to think about it, have something to talk about next week. So their gas went up from 21.5 cents per gallon to, or the tax went up from 21.5 cents to 45.5 cents per gallon.
How many more years do we have on that, Lisa?
Are there?
5. Trustee Kreis, it was
Probably-
10-year.
Probably about 5 years, Joe, right?
I would say maybe 6 or 7.
I don't think it's that many.
It was a year after I took over, it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's probably about
Seemed like a long
5
time
years
ago.
left.
At least 6.
Okay. So, food for thought, we'll talk about it next week at committee. And that is all I have. Quartermaster.
I have nothing to answer.
All right, at this time, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn to closed session to discuss collective negotiations or deliberations concerning collective negotiations of the bargaining unit, and also pending and actual litigation against the village.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are in closed session. There will be no further action after closed session.
There's no real reason for us to talk to you. I mean, that's it, right?